What's going on? This is Rhadi, 2004 Olympian, 4-time national judo champion, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm also currently the head national coach for the Bahamas Judo Federation. One thing I want to talk to you about today is strategic execution. When it comes to implementing strategy, oftentimes in order to implement a strategy, you need the resources to allow the strategy to be implemented. Case in point, you and I can sit down and talk about putting in, if we're talking about mixed martial arts, we can talk about putting in a strategy to keep the fight standing and not go to the ground. If all we have are people who practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we don't have any striking coaches available, or any good striking coaches available, we don't really have the resources to implement that particular strategy. So we would need to gather up the human resources of striking coaches, practice partners, the physical resources of mitts, pads, bags, etc. If you don't have that, you don't have the ability to execute the strategy. Now, here's what a lot of people fail to realize. So let's move over to the sport of judo. In the sport of judo, a lot of people, they really can't see exactly what is occurring inside of a judo match or within a judo competition. They only see the throws which occur. They can't see the execution of strategy. Recently, there was a match on the internet between an individual by the name of Travis Stevens and another individual by the name of Flavio Canto. The match took place in 2010 in Lisbon, Portugal. Flavio Canto executed an excellent strategy against Travis Stevens. Travis Stevens is a right-handed judo player who has problems fighting left-handed judo players. This isn't something that's a secret. It's so well known that Flavio Canto actually changed his stance from a righty and moved to a lefty. Flavio's strategy was to look at the match as if it were a time management problem, and to make sure that most of the matches time was managed in the area of groundwork or newaza and not tachiwaza. Flavio did an excellent job making sure that the match took place on the ground. I think almost 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the match out of a 4.5-minute match occurred on the ground, with Flavio ending the match in with a tap out. Implementing such a strategy was not difficult for Flavio Canto, because one, he has the practice partner, two, he has the newaza prowess and the newaza information by living in Brazil and from his particular sporting background. Now, when it comes to Travis practices with Jimmy Pedro in Massachusetts. I'm really interested in seeing, because these guys are going to fight over and over again, I'm really interested in seeing the iterative process of strategic development of Canto and Stevens from their coaches and the governing bodies of the two individuals play itself out in the environment of play. What am I actually saying? I'm really interested in seeing how much each of their games develop, because Travis beat Flavio the first time, whether it was by injury or whatever it was. He was dominating the match. And then Flavio made some changes in his style of play. And I'm interested in seeing the changes which Travis will make in his style of play and what Jimmy Pedro is going to have him do when they fight the next time. I'm also interested in seeing if either one of them are going to bring in any new human, or I would say human resources in order to help them elevate their games. I know that in terms of Brock Lesnar and Shane Carwin, I know that Brock Lesnar brought in Randy Couture as a human resource to help him elevate his game in preparation for Shane Carwin. I was having a talk with my frat brother, a good friend of mine, Winston Williams, and I really wanted to see Shane Carwin do well, and I was kind of pulling for Shane, but I really thought Brock Lesnar was going to win. And the reason being was because, you know, when you break down basic, you know, you look at the first chapter of Art of War and you look at the two camps, the one thing that really sticks out in my mind are the coaches for both camps are excellent. The jiu-jitsu on one side of the camp is better. I told Winston that Comprito